minute. Hey, Jack Bosch here, and I want to tell a quick story about the power of gratitude today. At the end of the day, don't forget to be grateful for what you have. And no matter what your situation is, you want to thank those that help you in any shape or form. And let me just tell you a quick story about that. So back when I came to this country, United States, I came here in 1997, literally with 2 suitcases, a bunch of student debt, enough money for 1 semester in college, and I needed 2 semesters to graduate to finish up all the kind of the credits I needed in Germany and so on, and to do a master's here. So I did that, and I managed somehow to get that done, long story short, and then I got a job. So I got a job in the software company, even though I know nothing about software. And but I also, something else had happened, I had fallen in love with this wonderful lady by the name of Michelle, who, long story short, is now my wife for over 17 years already. And but she wanted to now, after like working there for a year, she had a job, I had a job. She wanted to move to Arizona because she had the opportunity to go to a really good school to also study a little more and get an advanced degree, also a master's degree. So I went to my boss back then and I asked my boss if he would mind if I could move, because this was a nationwide company. They had offices all over. I had looked up already that there was an office in Phoenix, Arizona. So, and he just looks at me and he's just like, sure, no problem. It happens to be that I'm the regional head of the entire western part of the United States, and I'm even the regional head of that office, so that office is under me anyway, so we don't really need to do much. You just move offices. I'll let corporate know, all is good. And I was super excited. Now, at the same time, I had no illusions that I would never see this guy again, because he was like a top kind of guy, fairly high up. His name is Scott Springate, for that matter. Scott, if you see that, thank you again. And Scott allowed me to move to Phoenix, and there I was working under a different regional guy, and he was like on top of that. I never expected to see Scott ever again in any situation, and I was just grateful. I was just thankful that he was enabling me to do that, because not being able to move might have had torn our relationship apart, right? And so with my now wife, right, for many years now. And Michelle, as you know her, right, co-founder of the Land Profit Generator, and co-founder of our business, and integral part of everything we do. And so I moved down, he was able to move, and here's a coincidence. Now, Michelle actually happened to work during that time in another technology company that was owned by Hall of Famer Gale Sayers. Now, if you watch the movie Brian Song, that's Gale Sayers, and another guy, I didn't grow up here, I don't exactly know the details, but as you can tell, but apparently he was a big deal and like a big hero in Chicago. So what I did is I asked her, hey Michelle, can you get the signed autograph and make it signed out to Scott? And she's like, yeah, no problem. She went to Gale, and he signed the autograph for a little donation, almost nothing, and then I brought it to Scott, and he completely freaked out, jumped almost up to the wall, to the ceiling, ran around the office, showed everyone that picture. I didn't even know who Gale Sayers was. I had no idea that was a big deal. I just wanted to do a little thank you for somebody who allowed me to be able to not have to have a distance relationship and be able to move over to Phoenix. Okay, that's it. Long story short, fast forward 3-4 years, now we're in the middle of the dot-com recession. In the middle of a dot-com, this company now that had 7,000 people had laid off 3,000 people. We're not hiring anyone. They were letting people go. Nobody would get a raise. Nothing was done. Everything was frozen. This company was fighting for survival, literally. At the same time, was barely making money, probably even losing money, and so on. I don't know exactly, but literally, I was there, and I was that far away from being able to get my American green card. There was only one hurdle left. Apparently, I wasn't making enough money. Apparently, based on the category that they put me in with the United States government in order to request my green card, I needed to get a 7% raise in order to qualify salary-wise for that category, and therefore subsequently get my green card. And just for you to understand, if I didn't get my green card, I would have had to literally leave the country and or find another company that would start that from scratch, and that just there wouldn't have not been enough time in the entire process. So the bottom line, this was a crucial crossroad in my path of being able to either stay in the United States or leave the United States. And here's the thing, this company, 4,000 people, any salary decision needed to be decided by the senior vice president, one level below the CEO of the company of by that time, a 4,000 people company. There's little peon Jack working in this office somewhere. Nobody knows of me. I'm just a consultant working in this thing, and I need a 7% raise when nobody's getting a raise. And you know what happened? I only knew one guy that potentially could make it happen. And I hadn't talked to him for 3 years. So I picked up the phone and I called Scott. I called Scott Springate and I was like, Scott, here's the situation. Do you even remember who I am? And he's like, absolutely, I remember. You gave me the Gail Sayers picture. And he's like, really? Do you remember that? It's like, here's the situation. He's like, don't worry, let me see what I can do. 2 weeks later, I got a 7% raise. And after that 7% raise, I was able to qualify for the green card. I got my green card, and as a result of that, I'm here now, 20 plus years in the United States, American citizen, have a team of over 20 people that we employ, generate lots of tax revenue for this country. And that's the story. That's the story of gratitude. If you're grateful for what you have and you let people around you know that, you never know what's going to happen down the road. That's my little story. Thank you.